Hello, YouTube land. Welcome to another edition of Jeff's Toy Reviews. I am Jeff, your host, and today I'm actually going to do my top 10 plus honorable mentions and worst figure that I have purchased this year, or excuse me, last year, 2016. A lot of people are doing these videos. I'm actually doing my action figure one, which will include some DC icons, a lot of Marvel Legends, even a couple of Motu figures that I've received, and even Star Wars Black series that I've been collecting as well. I don't do a lot of reviews on the Star Wars Black series, but I have a ton of them, so maybe I should start. So first off, I want to do one of the honorable mentions, and it's going to be a surprise that it is the Absorbing Man. I was really surprised on how much I liked this guy. I liked the other figures in the line that came with him, the different Spider-Man, the Spider, I think it was Spider-Gwen and Venom. Those figures were great. And so I kept collecting the different figures and really was enjoying them. And then I found some of them for like $5, $6. So I'm like, cool, I'll just put the Absorbing Man together. And to my surprise, he's really cool. He's very posable. He's got some tough joints. He comes with two different arm sets. So he has two left arms, two different right arms. He's really posable. He's just a really cool figure. And I like the face sculpt on him as he's changing to stone to human, and just he looks great. I think he looks fantastic, and he is just an honorable mention. He's not even one of my favorites this year, but he was such a surprise that I had to mention him. So that's one for the honorable mentions. I'm just going to put him back off into the corner. You'll probably see I'm just going to build these up as we go. Another honorable mention for me is Jackolantern. And I'll say the reason why he's just an honorable mention is because of his legs. They're very thin and they're very weird and wonky, and he's very hard to stand. But I love the head sculpt. I love, the pumpkin head with the fire, and I have him here with the sickle, and the detail on him is really cool. He's just not highly posable because his legs are very, very thin, and he will fall over on you. So, but honorable mention for me as well. And then, I got two more honorable mentions, and I'm doing these guys as one because they're basically the same sculpt. Not basically, they are the same sculpt. And this is the Peter Parker and the Miles Morales from I believe this is the Space Venom set. These guys are awesome. They're very posable. They're short. They're teenagers. They look great. They're extremely posable and great articulation. They came with a lot of different hands, so you can have the open hand and the closed fist, or the web shooting hand, and really enjoyed these guys. This was the set that came with, I believe, Silk and maybe I'm getting it mixed up. I don't want to say. I'm probably getting it mixed up. So I think this is also the one that came with Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin is one of my figures that I really did like this year. Excuse me. Bumped the camera there, but I'm going to bring this down so we can get a little bit. Actually, let me do it this way. Sorry. Just noticing that my figures they're short. So I'm going to bring the camera down. Okay, so these are just another set of honorable mentions, and I am doing them just as one fig, just because they are the same exact sculpt, just different paint, and they look really good. All right, so let's get going. So my number 10 is actually an older figure, but I did purchase him this year. And that is, oh my goodness, I still got to do another, forgot to do one camera adjusted. That is Ghost Rider, Marvel Legends Ghost Rider. His face sculpt is fantastic. His mouth open and closes, which I thought was a cool touch. And I love the fire. And if you get this guy behind the right light piping, I mean, it just shines. It's really cool. So he is an amazing figure, and I'm glad to have him in my collection. So that's number 10. Number 9 for me would actually I'm going to bring in the Ben Reilly Spider-Man. And I put the Carnage slash Venom head on him with the claws because I think he looks really cool. This is a very dynamic Spider-Man, very tall. Um, and I like all the different poses you can put these guys in. And this one in particular, he has great articulation, fantastic paint. He has the typical Spider-Man head too if you want, but I just like those teeth. You know, he looks incredible, and I like the claws, and joints are really good. He has great articulation and just a fantastic figure, all in all. So the Ben Reilly Spider-Man really, really was a surprise for me. So that's number 9. Number 8 for me will be. Hold on here. I'm sorry. I have my figures kind of out of order, and maybe I should have thought of that before I brought them out. But all right. So I'm going to bring out these two guys, Skeletor and He-Man from the Classics Filmation line. These guys are fantastic, and they remind me so much of my childhood with He-Man and Skeletor. The way they look, their face sculpts, their just the colors that they have on them. These two were the ones that I was specifically buying when I subscribed to Matty Collector. But now that I've seen all the other figures that are coming out, like Trapjaw, Beastman, Evil Lyn, now that I have those, I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to see Man at Arms and Tila and the Sorceress and everybody else. So I think I'm just going to continue with the subscription on these guys. It's not very much, and they look great, and their posability is really cool, and they come with their weapons. They look fantastic. So these guys are my 7 and 8. So Skeletor for me is going to be my number 7. He-Man's going to be my number 8, only because I really like the way Skeletor looks more than He-Man. And look at that face. It's so cartoon accurate. So so now we're down to number 6 for me on the list is, oh yeah, I'm going to bring this camera just a little bit more flush. That's right. Build-A-Figure Juggernaut. This guy is amazing. He is solid. He's sturdy. He's posable. And, you know, he looks great. And I was so surprised. I will tell you right now, the X-Men line this year got me collecting Marvel Legends. If it wasn't for this X-Men line, I would not have collected any of these guys. And you'll see that by my number 1 and number 2 picks. But this guy's fantastic. He's amazing. He's very chunky. He's heavy. He looks great. So very happy I got this guy. And I think of the Build-A-Figures that I do have now, he's still my favorite. So, and that is why he is my number 6. So my number 5 actually is a tie, because they're both DC Icons characters, and they are just a perfect match made in a madhouse. So, and that would be Harley Quinn and Joker from DC Icons. Number 5 is not a shabby number. These guys are fantastic, great paint jobs, great articulation. They stand on their own very well. For Joker, he is limited a little bit on articulation because of the coat. It's a very heavy plastic, but the face sculpts on these guys, you know, fantastic. Look at that. Look at them eyes. Look at them eyes. See if I can focus in a little bit better. Oh, just beautiful. And Harley Quinn, she has that nice look on her face too, that she's going to shoot you with her cork gun, and there's nothing you can do about it. So these are my number 5, and they're really cool. They did a great job. Number 4 for me is Star Wars Black Series K2SO, and from Rogue One. And the reason he's number 4 is I love his articulation. I love all the sculpting that they have on this guy. His face looks really good. I was not one of the first people to see Rogue One as soon as it hit the theater. I did have to wait a little while, just because, you know, things were busy and everything. And his role just made this toy even better. Like, he is such a great character in that movie, and then also, I owned the toy before I saw the movie, and I was amazed by the toy itself, the articulation you get from him, and he's an amazing figure. But then to add that character behind him just boosted him up there. So not bad for number four. Number three would be will be Rogue, and it's really because I love her sculpt, love her eyes. Like Marvel Legends has this thing with some of the female eyes that they look really stoned or out there or cross-eyed or their eyes are too far apart. I think they did a great job with Rogue. I love the sculpting of her jacket. Um, just her posability is really good. I like that she has the hand that's ungloved, so she could suck the powers of a mutant from them, and or anybody's powers, and take it from them, so she can control. She can kick their butts. With their own stuff. Really, really like this figure a lot. I thought Marvel Legends did a great job with the X-Men line. I almost brought Kitty Pryde up, and it was a toss-up for me, and I literally just flipped a coin. So that's why she's at my number three. My number 2 point is Wolverine. Again, from the X-Men Marvel Legends wave. This wave got me started into my Marvel Legends. I will do a picture of my Marvel Legends one day so you can see how many that I've purchased over the last year and a couple months. But he's fantastic. He's shorter than the rest, which he should be. He has fantastic articulation where you can go in and out. He can have that widespread jumping, look, or you can have him flexing where he's about to, get down and just kill somebody. And he just looks really good. They did a fantastic job actually just molding and creating Wolverine so he looks right off the comic books and fits right onto your shelf. He looks great. And that's why I like him so much. Now, before I show you my favorite of this year, I'm going to show you my most disappointing. I know that's kind of weird, but this is the most disappointing figure I've ever purchased. And I purchased a few figures to build this figure. The Abomination. This guy is a joke. He's got wonky little toes, and he's wearing blue diapers or underwear. It's really a shallow. I don't know. They could have done something different with him when you have like the Juggernaut, and then you have this guy. The Abomination is really weak. This guy should have just been a regular standalone figure like the Hulk was in for the Build a Thanos figure. This guy's not good. He's not worth the collecting all the parts to build this guy. Now the individual figures are great, but I was really disappointed. And again, this is all my opinion. I didn't think it was, these guys are fantastic, but when you just stand him up there, he doesn't even have a double knee. Granted, Juggernaut doesn't either, but look at that gap in the knee when you bend the knee. That doesn't look right. It looks weird. So, I really have nothing redeemable for this guy for me. I know some people will probably really like him a lot. I just didn't really dig it. And look, maybe this is just my figure, but he's just wiggly and floppy. And I don't know. Maybe it's my figure alone. I don't know. But I have the Marvel Select version of Abomination, and that's the one that sits on my shelf because that dude is huge and massive and looks like how Abomination should look. So this is my worst figure of 2016. And of course, my favorite, is the Merc with the mouth, Deadpool. A lot of people have this guy on their favorites list. I liked him so much that I sought out and bought another one and gave one away earlier this year just so someone could have the same enjoyment that I did for this guy. I think he's incredible. He's got great articulations, comes with a ton of accessories, including a different head and a taco. It should be a chimichanga, but I'll take the taco. And then he comes with, guns, a grenade launcher or a shotgun. Then he's got a rifle, he's got 2 swords, and a rocket launcher with a punching glove, with a boxing glove on it. Come on. He's funny as hell. And really happy with this figure. He's part of that X-Men line, so for me, it really was no surprise to have my top 3 figures be from that X-Men line because they did such a wonderful job with these guys. You know, their hair, their eyes, the paint, the sculpts themselves are fantastic. And I think with Deadpool, they captured the character perfectly. So, you know, I'm very happy with this figure, as you can tell as I'm talking about this. But these are my top 10, and a couple of honorable mentions because I couldn't leave them out. And one worst figure because I don't know. I'm just so disappointed with the Abomination. I'm sorry for complaining about him. But these are my top 10. I'm really happy that I'm collecting action figures as well as Transformers. I will be posting my top 10 of 2016 Transformer purchases soon enough. That will be coming out later. I believe it'll hopefully this weekend or maybe next week. Definitely before January is over. So that's how I feel about these about the figures that I've purchased. I know my opinions may be different than yours, but if you'd like to share your opinion with me, what figure you thought was the best of 2016 that you purchased, please comment below. I'd love to see what you thought because maybe I own that figure. Maybe I'll take a relook or maybe I haven't reviewed them yet and I'll review them myself and see if I agree or don't agree or why. I'd really like to hear from you though. And, you know, if you like this video and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I have a lot coming up. If you like this video, and you also share it with your friends. Let them know, too, that there's people reviewing figures that you like, that they like, and so on. So thank you so much. You can also follow me at Jeff's Toy Reviews on Instagram, where I do post pictures and I do give people shout outs if they like enough pictures, but I do post a lot of pictures of the toys that I get, even unboxings that I've done for like subscription boxes and stuff like that. So anyway, thank you so much. That has been my review, a year in review of 2016 best action figures that I purchased. So tell me what you purchased and what you like about them. I'd gladly love to listen. Have yourselves a great one and see you all soon.